Get her. Get her.
You see, I just scuffed in my right pelvic limb.
I did not notice that.
Proprioceptive ataxia.
The next one will arrive and... Did you just walk into the door?
No.
Day in the life of a veterinary neurologist. Let me get the pink sheet. You can... What do you think I know? I saw that coming.
Oh my god. Okay, calm down. Oh my gosh.
Such a mean breed.
So mean. So mean. Vicious. Vicious. So this is Luka, our 6-year-old female spayed English Staffy Terrier. Apparently last fall, Mom noticed in the sand a paw print that looked abnormal to her. Didn't notice anything while on concrete. So Mom thinks that it started last fall. But this fall, she started to hear scuffing of both pelvic limbs. No lameness, no pain, no gait changes while walking, just the scuffing. Apparently she splays out in the pelvic limbs when she stands still. Mom describes it as like one hand on a hip, so like one hip leans to the side.
I guess I was, you know, really taking a look at her to see if I see anything that suggests cerebellar dysfunction just because of her breed. I don't.
Girl, that's okay. Good girl.
Okay, you pass. You can get up. You can get up. You can get up.
Silly. Yay! Give her the spring.
Hi, this is Melissa.
Hi there, it's Dr. Wong inside Southeast Veterinary Neurology. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. We just met Luka. She's a bundle of energy, super sweet.
You know, she wants to go, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
wants to walk. She used to walk 3 miles twice a day. I curbed that down because I can't have, you know, her nails fall off and blood all over the place.
When I watch her walk and when I watch her sort of stand, yeah, her back legs are just a little bit more splayed out, or what we call wider based. You can see, and the boots are useful because you can see the wearing of them. And usually when we have a problem that's affecting the back legs but not the front legs and not causing any sort of head tilt or behavior changes or anything like that, usually that suggests a problem affecting the spinal cord of the back, so somewhere between the front legs and the back legs. What I cannot tell you just by looking at her is what the cause is. The most common thing that we see in the mid-back spinal cord of dogs is a slipped disc. But usually that's painful. The next thing we worry about, unfortunately, is something like a spinal cord tumor. We can also get fluid pockets inside the spinal cord or on the surface of the spinal cord. Those are often non-painful. They come on slowly progress. We can get things like infections. Usually those are painful, not always, but usually they are. We can get inflammation, again, usually painful, not always. And then 2 other conditions need to be on our worry list. One is a degenerative spinal cord condition called a degenerative myelopathy. The point is anything's possible. Staffordshire Terriers do get a condition called cerebellar cortical degeneration. Not a lot of her exam fits with that particular condition. It's more just based off of her breed, her age, and I guess early on in that condition, can it, you know, be mistaken for, you know, more common spinal cord things. So option 1, as we'll call it, is we move through tests, meaning an MRI. Second option is that we still do those tests, but we do them in the opposite order. I'm gonna submit these blood tests. I'll put a note for us to give you a call, maybe, you know, January 21st or something like that. Let you get back in town and, you know, let the dust settle a little bit, and then we'll reach out to you if you haven't already reached out to us.
Perfect.
Hi, Mama. Hi. I gotcha. 3, 2, and... Get her! Get her! Okay, I believe you.
Oh my god.
That mean doctor stuff.
No.
Go back to her house. You got it? Who was with Frida?
I was.
You want to come
Yes.
translate for me?
Yes, sir.
Frida's 4 years old and up until yesterday was completely normal, but last night she was playing. She became walking after the incident, but started dragging last night. The next thing we try and assess is how severe the symptoms are. And we grade spinal cord injury on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the most severe. The fourth category is when we're unable to move the legs, but we can still feel them if I pinch on them really hard. And category 5 is when there's no movement in the back legs, and if I pinch on her toes really hard, that she doesn't feel them. Unfortunately, Frida's in category 5 right now, so if I pinch her toes really hard, she does not give me any sort of indication that she can feel that painful stimulus to her toes. The first cause is the most likely one, and that's what we call a slipped disc. A slipped disc is the #1 injury that I see in dogs with back problems, especially French Bulldogs. My recommendation would be that we move towards doing an MRI of her back, because that's going to be the only way for me to know, is it a slipped disc and which disc is it, or is it something else? Unfortunately, when you're a category 5, the chances of regaining the ability to walk with surgery are only about 50%, and that's within the first 24, certainly 48 hours. There is a risk of what's called myelomalacia. Myelomalacia just means softening of the spinal cord, basically dying of the spinal cord. And what happens in that is the dying of the spinal cord kind of goes down the spinal cord towards the back legs, but as it goes up the spinal cord towards the front legs, eventually the front legs become weak and affected, and then after that, the nerves to her breathing become affected. And if that happens, we end up needing to put her to sleep. So that's option 1. That's my recommendation, is that we proceed with an MRI to find out what we're dealing with, understanding that if it's a slip disc with surgery, we only have about 50% chances of making her a walking dog. It can take time for that to happen, but there are also 15% chances that at the end of this we don't have anything to show that she passes away because of it.
They're all crying.
No, understood. It's a cry-worthy situation. Ellie, back pain. No compressive lesion on the MRI. She's a dog that had a big slip disc at T1301 back in September, had surgery with Dr. Hornberg. So there's nothing still compressing the spinal cord, but there's some hyperintensity within the cord, which is not uncommon after a dog's had a slip disc in surgery and it was a severe injury. So we did a spinal tap. The spinal tap was normal. We're doing joint taps, and we will go look at those. Toot sweet.
Thank you, Puffy. You have a good day. Bye.
See, I just scuffed in my right pelvic then.
I did not notice that.
Proprioceptive ataxia.
That doesn't make sense. Puffy, probably.
Those are all neutrophils. It's a neutrophil party. It's not normal. So the next thing that we did was a joint tap, or what we call arthrocentesis. By my eyes, in-house, it has way too many nucleated cells in it. We are sending it to the lab for a pathologist to read, but it is, I would be shocked if they said anything other than there's inflammation in this joint, meaning polyarthritis. What's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
About Ellie?
Yes.
So since she just had her MRI, what was it, last week?
Yep.
What was different?
Nothing was different on the MRI.
Okay.
The reason that we re-MRI'd is she wasn't getting better, she's still painful. We were planning on doing joint taps, excuse me, spinal tap plus or minus joint tap, but we made the argument if we're going to anesthetize her, we should also MRI just in case it's what 4-year-old dachshunds get, like a slip disc. It was not a slip disc. Her spinal fluid was normal, her spinal tap was normal, but she has inflammation in her joints. It might still be up on the microscope over there.
Oh, that's how you take the joint fluid and look for inflammatory cells.
Correct. So joint fluid should be acellular, shouldn't be really, really thick. So kind of when we take it out, we use the needle sort of do that, and you should get this like sticky string that connects them. And it wasn't like completely watery, like where there wasn't any string, but it wasn't as stringy as it should be. Those are doctor words.
Yeah, it wasn't as stringy. I like those words.
But like as soon as I put it out there, it was like milky white, like that. It's not fun. Would have been better to have a slip disc, but I guess better than.
An answer is better.
An answer is better, yes,
sure
because that was exactly. You
Hi.
for me?
Yeah, I just want to update you.
Thank you.
So I just got a call from Pulaski Animal Hospital who gave me
Okay.
this information. Mr. Hoffman has a 5-year-old millimeter Dachshund who acutely this morning, well, 100% normal, acutely at 1 o'clock was ataxic, now dragging, maybe plegic, just an FYI.
Okay, that'll probably work out perfectly. That we'll finish this one. The next one will arrive, and
Awesome.
so we've got another dog.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you just walk into the door?
No.
What's up?
Can you talk about Dudley?
Yes.
He's a 5.5-year-old male neuter dachshund. He remained stable up until this evening. When mom came home from work and noticed that he was dragging his pelvic limbs on exam, he is paraplegic with intact nociception. My plan for him is MRI and surgery.
Okay.
Bye-bye. How's it going in here?
I have identified the surgical site
Nice.
and drilling. Oh, what's up with Dudley?
Oh, he's getting admitted right now.
Okay. Excellent. Caicos.
Caicos, 5-year-old male neuter dachshund. Yesterday, started to have some difficulty walking, reluctance to climb into bed. Today around noon, he started being weak in his pelvic limbs and urinated in bed. Went to Dr. Pulaski at Pulaski Animal Hospital and referred straight here. Dog is paraplegic, intact nociception, moderate thoracolumbar canal palpation, MRI and surgery.
Little French Bulldog that is paraplegic, no deep pain, that had a slip disc at T11, 12, 12, 13. Surgery was very, very standard. Large amount of disc and hemorrhage was removed at the site. So she will be on nice, strong pain medications overnight. Chance of walking at her, unfortunately, still only 50%. So lots of people ask, when I get out of surgery, will the prognosis change? Is it, now is it 50%, 80%, whatever? So after surgery, it's still 50% chances. Still 10% chances, or I guess in her case, 15% chances of myelomalacia, just because she's a French Bulldog that is acutely paraplegic, no deep pain. We always have to worry about myelomalacia. I guess a 35% chance that we are permanently paralyzed and in a wheelchair, but time will tell. At this point, we've done everything that we can, and the owners have done everything that they can. Now it's just up to the universe. Surgery went great with Dudley. L3-4 disc, huge amount of calcified disc material. Caicos has an 11, 12, 12, 13 disc. Also on the left. Same thing as what the French Bulldog had, except he is plegic with intact nociception. So he has like a 95% chance of regaining the ability to walk, which is what we want. What are the Italian cars named in the Cars thing? Is one Luigi or?
Well, I know there's one named Luigi.
Anyway, that was a really fast changeover. My mentor's pet peeves, so it became one of my pet peeves, is, you know, people calling it a, oh, it's just a routine back, and to me it's not routine until you're done. Like the surgery residents across the street would say things like, oh, will you help us with this? It's just a routine back, I can do it. And, you know, the surgery hadn't even started, so you don't know that it's routine until. So my next learning point for Dr. Flores and lifelong surgical philosophy is usually right around the time when you start feeling pretty proud of yourself, feeling pretty good, feeling, you know, hey, I've got this. It's usually right around the time you get burned. Don't get cocky is the short version.